last season that were high up. And, I mean, obviously there were more, but we're only going to talk about the main 5. And that is Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mack Jones. So the question is proposed right now, what second-year quarterback will have the biggest growth this season? So let's start off at the top here. So we're just going to go from first overall ranked down to the last drafted quarterback here. So we're going to start with Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, guys, many people were speculating that Trevor Lawrence was going to be a bust before he was even drafted. But I was one of those people. And if Urban Meyer was still the coach, 100%, Trevor Lawrence would be a bust 100%. He would be out of there, probably gone at the end of the year, to be honest. But the Jacksonville Jaguars made a great hire this year, and that's Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson brings that RPO offense to Jacksonville, exactly the same offense that Trevor Lawrence ran in Clemson with Travis Etienne and all the receivers and great linemen that they had. It is going to be a pretty good thing to watch if you are a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Trevor Lawrence looked promising at games last season, guys. There were times where like, man, shoot, I am 100% wrong about this guy. This guy is balling. But then the very next drive, he's making high school mistakes. He is doing stupid things. But I got an opportunity, and I watched 5 or 6 games of his today. They were condensed games, whatever, right? But I got to watch 5 or 6 games of him, and every one of his mistakes are fixable mistakes by the right coach. Who's the right coach? Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is going to take Trevor Lawrence underneath his wing and really groom him and fix these stupid mistakes that Trevor Lawrence was making last season. Also, with the addition of Travis Etienne finally coming back, that's also huge for him as well. Now, let's talk a little bit about Zach. I'm going to bang your mom, Wilson here. So, Zach Wilson's, when I was looking at his stats and then watching the games, his stats lie to you guys. Because those first 5-6 games of the season, when he had those 4, 5, 6 interception games, just I know he didn't throw 6 interceptions, Joe, but it was 4 interception games. Those really skewed the stats for the rest of the season. So if we were to break up the stats by quarters of the season, the last quarter of the season, Zach Wilson was a top 7 quarterback in the NFL per stat wise, throwing percentage and all that good stuff. So Zach Wilson definitely showed some good promise in the second half of the season. Also, the New York Jets added a lot of weapons, guys. They added C.J. Uzomah, the tight end from the Cincinnati Bengals. They drafted some more offensive line help. That offensive line could easily be one of the best offensive lines here in a couple years. And they added more receiver help as well. And the defense is already kind of stingy anyway. So this is a perfect opportunity for Zach Wilson to make huge steps going into 2022 NFL season. Next up, Trey Lance. I see the San Francisco 49ers YouTube page in there. So guys, be sure to subscribe to that channel. My man James and does good things all over there. But Trey Lance, we have not seen Trey Lance play a full season of any level of football since 2019. 2020 COVID season, he played 1 game versus South Dakota in like a rivalry game, kind of like a showcase for the draft. Last season, he played a couple games as well as like mop-up duty and stuff like that. So we have not seen him play a real game start to finish in a very, very long time. With that being said, Trey Lance has the biggest ceiling of all these quarterbacks, also has the lowest floor of all these quarterbacks, meaning, as the analysts say, you can't cherry pick around, #waffle, right? No, but Trey Lance is going to be a boom or he's going to be a bust. There is going to be no mediocre play for Trey Lance whatsoever. However, on the bright side for Trey Lance, this is a quarterback system. The system that the San Francisco 49ers have built is a system to where pretty much they can plug and play any quarterback. And I know my man Jameson is very, very down on Jimmy G, but when Jimmy G was healthy, you guys led them to the championship. Now, watching Trey Lance's highlight tapes from college for the year and a half that he played, he has a strong-ass arm. He can throw it like 60, 70 yards on a dime. He has that athletic ability, and the running game will be that much more dangerous with the addition of Trey Lance in that backfield because you get that dual threat look plus a strong arm. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers and Trey Lance have a very good opportunity of being a very, very good team this season. Next up is Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the most awe-striking of all these quarterbacks because he has made plays you're like, damn, how did he make that play? And then there's plays like, damn, why did he make that play? But on the flip side of the coin, the Bears did nothing to help him this year in the draft. They drafted defensive players. Their offensive line is terrible. They let their star receiver walk away. They let their offensive lineman walk away. Justin Fields is probably arguably in one of the worst positions in all of these quarterbacks, hands down. Now, Mack Jones, the fifth quarterback off of the board. He went to, obviously, the most successful team. He was the only playoff quarterback out of these five last season. Mack Jones is the best quarterback from last year in this draft class. He looked like a true veteran. From the time he stepped on the field, yes, he had growing pains week 1, week 2, week 3, but once that week 4 hit, he looked like a true veteran on the field. He took command of his team. He has done what he has asked him to do. If you need Mack Jones to throw the ball 300 yards, he can do that. If you need him to throw the ball 3 times in a game, he can do that. Mack Jones knows his role, and he has a great coaching staff and a great team around him, and they added more depth to that side of the ball as well. Also, this is kind of a blessing and a curse though. But Mack Jones, guys, was a Pro Bowl quarterback last season. When you are a Pro Bowl quarterback your first year, the floor is already set. The floor is up here. So you have to succeed that every year and year out. So let's go ahead and rank these players from 1 through 5. Now, I'm not saying that this ranking system is the best quarterback in this class. They're going to have the most improvement from year 1 to year 2. Now, coming in at number 1, it's going to be no further than Zach Wilson, the New York Jets. Why do I put him at number 1? Let's look no further than the Tampa Bay game last season. His wide receiver core was decimated, right? They were down to the grocery store. The freaking offensive line was on their second and third strings all year, just like at this point. They were literally a 4th and 2 away from beating Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Zach Wilson put this team on his back, and he has that game right there. I'm like, wow, this guy is going to be it in New York. And I think Zach Wilson will improve most in year 2 because of the team around him. They added the weapons, they added the defense, they added the offensive line, a great head coach. He is going to do good things. Number 2, Trey Lance. Now, obviously, Trey Lance did not play the first year, so it is kind of hard to rank them. But the 49ers are a great team. The 49ers are literally an interception away, guys, from being Super Bowl champions just a couple years ago. They are a Super Bowl away from being like the next dynasty. They were a interception away of basically being the Kansas City Chiefs now, right? Super Bowl conversation year in and year out. And like I said earlier, with Trey Lance on that field, the running game just becomes that more dangerous. When you have a dual threat quarterback, and they're just that much more dangerous, and he can throw the ball on a dot as well. Also, if you guys are into the betting thing, this could be an MVP dark horse. Best quarterback on the best team. The 49ers could easily walk away with the NFC West, aka the best team, and a quarterback. So, number 3, Trevor Lawrence. Now, like I said, I was a firm believer that I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be a bust. But the hire of Doug Peterson has turned this around. This hire is huge for Trevor Lawrence. All of the mistakes that he made last year are fixable mistakes. He will be just fine. Number 4 comes Mack Jones. Now, Mack Jones will probably be the most successful out of all of these quarterbacks, but this is improvement. And when you're already a Pro Bowler, how much can you really improve from year 1 to year 2? Yes, you're going to improve some, but Mack Jones looked like a 5-6 year starter last year in the NFL. This year, he is going to look like a 10-year vet. Mack Jones is going to have a good season. Will be very, very successful, but he will be the number 4 most improved player. And then obviously coming in at number 5 is Justin Fields. I mean, the reason why Justin Fields is at number 5 is because this guy simply has to be amazing. Like, he has to play flawless MVP level for the Chicago Bears just to even win 5 games this season. Chicago Bears are bad. They let their best receiver walk away. Their defense is terrible. Their offensive line is the worst offensive line in football. Justin Fields is going to be running for his life all season long. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new general manager. Everything has blown up in Chicago, and they're in complete rebuild mode. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, Justin Fields gets the short end of the stick, so he will be the least improved player going into year number 2.